everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Nick Dipaolo. Nice to have you along. Friday, finally. You're like, well, Jesus, Nick, you work, 2 hours a night? Is it really that big a deal? Might as well be in a coal mine, I'll be honest with you. That's the kind of work ethic I have. This is like... this is like being on an oil rig for me for 8 hours a day. I'm a lazy motherfucker. Good to be with you. Friday, folks. What do you want to talk about? I really don't. It's Friday. I don't feel like getting into it. I got stories here. I got, Milo. He wanted to advertise his book. He was advertising it in D.C. subways, metro system. Of course, the PC fucking, that city is horrendous. You want to drain the swamp? If North Korea is going to hit us, why don't you land one there? Want to drain that fucking swamp? Seriously. Yuck. The people that ride the subway and the metro system there didn't like, Milo's book advertisement, so they had to take it down. I'm sure they would have done that if it was a liberal. Anyways. And there's another story, this Jeffrey Lord guy who wrote a thing for American whatever. Anyways, he worked for CNN, and he used the word Zeke Heil, kiddingly, sarcastically, responding to the guy that runs Media Matters. This jerk-off's the one who he's boycotted Hannity, O'Reilly. He's taken down everybody, this guy. Gets money from Soros, whatever. So this guy has a back and forth with this Jeffrey Lords, American Spectator, I think is what the article he wrote it in. So, they start having a back and forth, and the guy from Media Matters tweets a bunch of shit. So this guy posted tweets, knowing that he read the article saying Zeke Heil. He's being sarcastic, so CNN fires him, this Jeffrey Lords guy. So there's two examples of fucking left-wing fascism. Yeah, but I don't feel like talking about that. We'll get to it if we have to. I'd rather talk about comedy. By the way, next week, folks, Bobby Kelly will be in here. Robert Kelly. He's about 5'8". I'd say he's about 366. Fucking love him. He's doing all right. Last time I talked to him, he was at some, he's got some house up in Lake Winnipesaukee or somewhere up in New Hampshire. Good family man. And Vinny Brand, the owner of the Stress Factory, where me and Andy Fiore will be playing on August 25th and 26th. He's coming in. You're like, why would you have him in? Well, because he's deaf in one ear. He's a right winger, and I don't like the way he runs his club. So I'll make that interesting. You want to tune in for that? I will fucking let this guy have it. I let him have it on my podcast after I worked there. And we love Vinny. He's got 7 kids. He's a workaholic. But he goes on, folks, at his own club. And, he's the MC. He opens up with a tight 55 minutes. I'm not shitting you. He did it to me twice or 3 times. Couple times he hasn't. Couple times he agreed not to be in the building when I played there. So he's a good guy. But infuriated me. I had with me, what's her name?
Kendra?
Kendra Cunningham was with me. And, she had to catch a train back to New York, right? The last train's like at 11:05. Vinny's still on. It's like 10 or 12. She hasn't even gone on yet. So I have to schlep her back to fucking Manhattan. I threw her in a cab. Same way I used to when I was single by dates. I'm like, drive you back to Brooklyn? Here's $22. Yes, I wasn't a real gentleman. I used to be dialing the fucking cab company as I was coming. I'd be like, Brooklyn. So Vinny will be here. And Dan Natterman. Who's Dan Natterman? Well, he is, Noam Dworman, who runs the Comedy Cellar. It's his radio partner. They have a show on, what is it, Raw Dog?
Raw Dog, yeah, the Comedy
on
Cellar
Raw Dog. And Dan Natterman, another little, he lawyer, smart little smug, funny as hell. So we'll torture him. I'll bully him for a few minutes. And who else might, Charlize Theron might knock him in. And like the name of the people will never be here. David Letterman will be probably in the building talking to somebody else. But what else? September 16th, I'll be at the Newtown Theater in Newtown, Pennsylvania. I know you people in San Diego are going, what the fuck doesn't help me? Well, you can get on a plane. Go to my, check out my dates, and for ticket information, go to nickdip.com and hit me up on Twitter at Nick Dipaolo, Instagram, Facebook, all that silly shit. Then maybe we can watch Game of Thrones together, like a couple of queers. I watched a little bit of Hard Knocks, And, of course, the brothers are talking about what? Game of Thrones. You can't get away from this shit. That is, let me tell you, again, HBO, not my favorite. Did you tell me who has a hour special?
Michelle Wolf
is taping an hour special for HBO. Really? A girl who worked for The Daily Show has an hour special on HBO? Wow! Wow! Wow, HBO, really fucking breaking the... You... Ooh, you...
You know, I fucking hate the way you make me fucking ride you. Now get the fuck out of here.
What'd I do?
Not you. I'm talking to people at HBO. 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. There's a lot of 69s in that number for you people out there to make it easy with your dirty minds. Let's talk comedy. Call in, folks. There's a lot of people out there. You want to do comedy. You just don't have the balls. Call in and I'll tell you why you're right in the decision not to do it. Sold Andy Fiore, who I just called Dan. Yeah, call in. But let's talk. Yeah, Kevin Hart. I saw this article. The headline said Kevin Hart rejects anti-Trump political grandstanding, and he says my job is to make people laugh. Well, a lot of people are making people laugh by shitting on Trump, but I like Kevin. How are you going to argue with a guy's comedy philosophy when he made, and I'm not making this up, this is the figure, last year he made $87.5 million. Another, more evidence we're in a racist country. Just more evidence this is a racist country. Keeping the black man down. But fuck, I love Kev. Kev came to the Comedy Cellar a few years ago, sat at that table, and the minute he sat down, didn't even know him, started busting chops. You're like, this is a Philly guy, charismatic, funny, and then he was on Tough Crowd. I had a good line. One of my best lines of Tough Crowd. Me and Kevin had an exchange. He goes, Nick, you don't know what we go through. Meaning black people. I go, yeah, I do. Fucking red lights. Yes. But, yeah, so Kev's worth every penny, man. I think he's, but he says the way I see it, my job as a comedian is to spread positivity, which I don't agree with that part of it. But he does. He's a positive, he's a happy-go-lucky, and he says to make people laugh, the highest gross. Oh, this is in the Daily Beast. He said, I don't want to draw attention to what's already pissing us people off, meaning politics. So I understand his philosophy. I personally like comics who, delve into that. You know what I mean? The Richard Pryors of the world touched on, well, more culture, I guess, probably, right, than politics. But the Bill Hickses. And I like guys who dub Robert Klein in his day. I kind of like people who let it all out. And he's saying, well, you're going to alienate part of your audience, if you pick us out, which is true. But so what? You can still get rich. He's like I said, who's going to argue with his philosophy? And he was on Tough Crowd many times, and he boxed Colin Quinn, and he actually knocked Colin down. Colin kind of slipped one, but it looked like he knocked him down. Oh, man. But Kevin, Kevin is a friggin' superstar, and he's staying away from the anti-Trump horseshit, which, you should... I hear young open micers saying to me, that's all people... He goes, these young comics go, I go to open mic, and that's all I hear is anti-Trump shit. Yeah, that's ballless. That is such ballless. I'd rather hear you fucking... doing girls go to the bathroom in groups jokes, then that'll be more original than making fun of Trump at this point. But Kevin says when you jump into that political realm, you're alienating some of your audience, which is true. But again, if the audience is big enough, I'll alienate some of them. Yeah, like I saw George Lopez last night, who I love, by the way. Never met George, but I love how and now he goes after Whitey, but he does it. You can't really argue. He argues at how soft we are as a people, and you can't fucking argue that. And he does a lot of that Spanglish. I can't believe I haven't met Lopez. He's in my top 10. I think he really is funny SOB. Half of it now, but every time I hear him on the radio now, there's more Spanglish. I don't know what it's almost like Dennis Miller in his heyday with those references. Only this is, but. So I agree a little bit, but I'd rather I like the comics like the Bill Hickses of the world that didn't really shy away from it, even though his politics, I didn't agree with any of that shit. But 87.5 million. Give me a calculator. If you're making $1 million a year, let me do this for you. I always do this for my wife. You know how much that is a week? $1 million a year? 20 grand a week. So go do 20 grand times 87. 20 times 87. I can't even do the math. But and last night I saw a call come up on the screen. A guy from Canada. It said, "Nick, you're a comedian. How come you talk about politics every day?" Because I like to talk about socially relevant shit. What do you want me to talk about? The Kardashians? Am I supposed to come on here and do stand up? You know what I mean? What are you guys doing? Oh, you're doing a calculator. Yeah, do the math. Go ahead.
I'm curious now.
Go
so
ahead.
it's let's just 87 divided by, it would be 52, right? 52 weeks.
Yeah, but that's not how I went about it. Go ahead. What does that give you? It's 1.67 million a week.
Yeah.
A week?
Yeah. If he's made 87 million, he's made at least 52 million would be $1 million a week.
No, you just go 12. I do it by months. 12 months into 87 million.
All right.
12.
Well,
that's 7.5 mil a
public
month.
school system. What are you
talking about? Public school system, motherfucker? You goddamn right. I ain't no fucking spoil. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my nose like you Villanova fag. You white privilege motherfucker.
State schools. What are you going to do?
I would have loved that Villanova. Howie Long was my hero. Howie Long was my hero. Yeah, call in, folks, if you want to talk about, as far as, I guess the question it poses, I got to be honest with you. Most of the people come out to comedy clubs. I think they rather hear evergreen stuff, and they don't want you to delve into anything too. You got to be funny about it. If you're not funny about it, if you got to do political shit, then you're just preaching. And that's what people are afraid of. But a lot of idiots don't even, why are you talking politics? You're a comedian. Like, they're two separate things. It's like, no, I live in this world. Politics affects my life. Silly. And I always said this, if you stick your head into a comedy club and watch somebody on stage for 10 minutes and you can't tell from their act what year it is, then that fucking guy's not really doing his job. Flowers just made a face. he made the poly. I don't know how to make a restaurant. It's not fair, no? But, yeah, so let me know when you guys go out. Again, I like socially relevant guys. Yeah, Hicks, come on. Bill Hicks, I hated his politics, but Jesus, he made me laugh because he was so convicted.
Geraldo.
Other
side of the aisle, but still.
What side of the aisle was he on?
He's a little left.
Sometimes.
I think so.
Sometimes. But other times he said more racist shit than me. After I took the lead, naturally. I'm the one who fucking broke that color barrier on Tough Crowd. And then Geraldo went, let me do it. Put my Harvard spin on it. But Geraldo went after... Geraldo. I told you, Geraldo Rivera interviewed me right after Geraldo died. And he thought, literally, Greg Geraldo took his name as a stage. That's how fucking pompous. I had to bite my tongue. I wanted to slap that fucking handlebar mustache off him. What, he was a strongman in the circus in 1950? I actually like Geraldo. Another guy whose work ethic I will put against anybody's. Well, I'm watching the news. He's in Afghanistan covering the war. The next night he's on his boat covering a hurricane in Miami. I swear to Christ. I go, what? When did this... let's... nah, not yet. What else did Kevin say? Look at the picture of him. He's got the nice suit on and shit. Beautiful wife. Kevin Hart and his wife, Aniko Parrish. He says his philosophy, I want to take your mind off of whatever may be going on in your life that could be wrong and give you a reason to say, you know what? It's going to be okay. That's exactly what I don't do when you come to my show. When you leave my show, you go, Jesus Christ. You know what? This country's got about 8 minutes left. I do 8 minutes on North Korea. He says, that's being the positive, motivating, inspiring person that I am, that I always will be. And he is. That's no bullshit. You meet him, he's, But that's because, he's 5'6", 108 pounds soaking wet, as Colin Quinn would say about Gandhi. Quinn has a bit about Gandhi. Was Gandhi a higher spiritual being? Because he was born that way and believes in it? Or was it because he was 108, because he was 108 pounds soaking wet? I know a lot of guys under 150 who practice, spiritualities and philosophy. I know a lot of guys with 6'4", 240 who think a left hook will cure cancer. Oh, one of Quinn's classics. All right, Bill in New Jersey. Welcome to the show, Billy.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it. You don't have to thank me. Thanks for making it. You know what I'm saying? We need you.
You go. No, I've been listening since day one, man. It's refreshing to have, your opinion on the radio.
Appreciate it.
But, so I've always wanted to try stand-up. Like, ever since I was a kid, like, when my parents put me to bed when they were watching Dice's HBO special. Like, I just...
Oh, my God. You're that young?
About it. Well, I'm 32.
Oh, my God.
But,
go ahead.
Well, it was in the 80s, early 90s. I was only like 10 or something.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, dude. I was fucking 38 when I was watching that special, and your mother's tucking you in bed, for Christ's sake.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
But, so I actually, I tried it. I worked at a bar, and they would have this, like, open mic, but it was for everything. Like, people could go up and do songs or, whatever, anything you wanted to do.
Sure. And
I did it, and I actually did all right. And, like, my jokes were like racist at the time. I was just, like, picking on the people that were there. And I even had a black guy come up to me, and he actually, like, gave me praise. Like, he's like, you were racist, but, it was funny, da-da-da. So I tried to do it. I went to Helium for open, and I just froze. Like, it was like the most fear I've ever had in my, I couldn't get out a word. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I froze.
Yeah.
And, I never got over it. So, like, that's like a regret. I swear to God, dude, I was like, hands were sweating. It was the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah. Well,
and I never got over it, but it's one of them things, like, I know I'll regret it if I don't I'd rather make whatever, 60 grand doing that shit than, like, that's just something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
But how do you get over stage? Like, how do you get over that shit?
Well, you got to you got to take advantage of the opioid problem in this country.
No, don't worry. I am. Don't worry. That's the problem.
There you go. No, you know, I know what you're saying, man. The first time I went on, I didn't exactly rip it up, but I was so excited that night that I spoke in public that I couldn't sleep for a week. I was so excited, even though I ate my own shit up there.
How old were you when you first went?
I was 11. Come on, Billy.
Yeah, for real.
I'm kidding.
How old?
I was like 14. But no, I was 20. I was 25.
25?
Yeah, 1987. And yeah, no, it's a scary thing. You know how I know it's a scary thing, Bill? I don't know what to tell you. Maybe have a couple drinks, whatever. But don't work the audience. Don't go up and you said you picked on people in the audience. That's you got to write jokes and material.
No. Yeah, no, I did it one time at this restaurant, Scataro's, and this Reverend Bob Levy was there. So he was like nice as hell. He like pulled me aside and he was like, "Listen, you're funny." He's like, he offered to like take me to his house. He was telling me how he helped Florentine and Jim Norton. And then he like gave me his number, his email, this and that. And then I don't know, he like dropped off the face of the earth. I never heard from the guy. But then, I gave him some, and he was telling me like, listen, some of your jokes are a little too racist. You got to calm that down, this and that.
Yeah.
But he was a nice dude about it. And then it's just that I don't know that I walked up and it was like a fucking movie, dude. Like I just froze.
Yeah.
I couldn't say hello.
Well, just look. Here's how you got to look at it. Seriously, Bill, what is the big deal? And I still ask this today. If a room of strangers don't think you're funny, is that the worst thing that can happen to you? Seriously, just picture the people being raped over in Afghanistan and ISIS cutting off tits, and picture that when you go up, and you'll still be scared. And
just one more, and like the thing to do is all you got to do is just do a bunch of open mics, right? And then you just keep doing that for. Forever.
Forever. Yes.
Happens.
You do. And you'll become comfortable. But yeah, no, it's, just if there's stage time somewhere, try to grab it. And seriously, have a beer before you, or, smoke a joint, whatever you got to do. For me, it was pure horse right into the left arm. Got the hose in the bathroom. But, do what you got to do. Do it again, though. Don't quit. Don't be a pussy. Don't let them take your balls, Billy.
No, I appreciate that.
All right.
30. I mean, thanks, dude. Thanks.
You got it.
I'll let you know what happens when I buy.
I'll read about your obituary. Take it easy. Young comic named Billy found hanging from a rope in the bathroom of Scaraducci's comedy / restaurant. It is scary. It's a scary thing we do, and this is how I know it. I've been doing it 30 years, and I still, before the show, I still feel. A little in the stomach. I put that pressure on myself when you get to this because I want these new bits. I have to get homework done while I'm up there. It's sort of a different kind of nervous. My nervous comes with, is the audience going to behave? I just don't want to yappy and people hand the checks out during the show. That's what comedy clubs. These are the things that give me anxiety. Not me not making people laugh. I get that down. I'm comfortable going in front of an audience. But like I said, even after 30 years, there's nights where I have little butterflies. That's how you know it's still something scary to do, to get in front of a room full of strangers. That's how you know. It's not everybody can do it. So, but if it's really eating at you, you gotta scratch that itch, or it's gonna bug you. I see in the audience, I'll see, you'll see guys like in their 30s, cocked head, arms folded. I go, what the fuck? They looking at it with like a smug look. This is more in New York, New Jersey, people who have seen it all. And I'll go, oh, what, you can do this, right? You just rather work at the mattress factory 80 hours a week? And they sit right up. You can tell it's what they were thinking. This guy ain't that good. I could do that. I always find that one guy. I could be played at the Coliseum in Rome, and I'll find that one broad in the balcony who doesn't like yeah, it's there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. There's a corny movie, Mr. Saturday Night. Billy Crystal. He makes horrendous movies. Me and Colin Quinn agree 1,000%. Just fucking. Colin goes. He's like a fucking New Jersey dentist who got lucky. That's what. But Colin will call me. It'll be like I'll be at home on a Thursday night. He'll go, put on HBO. They're doing a Kinnison documentary. I flip it over and it's like Curly's Gold. Fucking. Billy's fucking. Billy, what's his last name? Bill
Crystal.
What? Jesus Christ. Concussion syndrome. I think I get CTE. Let's go to Wes in California, since we're in drive time on the West Coast. Wes, what's up?
Hey, Nick.
What's
up?
I
love your show. I love you.
Thank you, brother.
I just wanted to make a guest suggestion. I heard you saying that you're going to bring some comics on. I'm happy to hear you talking comedy, since that's your profession.
Yeah.
And I wanted to suggest Kevin Brennan. I'm a big fan of Kevin Brennan. I think he's a loose cannon. I think he'd be great on your show.
We'll get him in here. The problem with Kevin is the last 2 times we saw each other, I thought we were going to come to blows because, he's psychotic, I'm psychotic.
That's good radio.
That's good
radio.
It's better TV, actually.
Anyway, keep up the good work.
All right,
Wes. I like the comedy format.
I'll take that suggestion into account. Thanks, Wes.
All right, have a good day.
Brennan would be good because he makes me fucking laugh. He makes me look like Tony Robbins as far as positivity. This guy, oh my goodness gracious, Heloise. He used to take a bus. He lived down by Atlantic City. He'd take 2 buses and connect to do a set at the Cellar. Where you living? He's like, I live like an hour and a half from here. Crazy. Funny, though. Funny and, angry. I met him when I moved to New York. Now, it's so funny. I see these guys, and I'm like, he's old now. What?
You smug cocks.
That was accidental. I just hit that with it fit perfectly. Nick, how dare you call anybody old? You smug cocksucker. Let's go to Russell in Houston. Must be 110% humidity in Houston. Russell, what's up, brother?
Hey, Nick, big fan. It's only 95% humidity today, actually.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you've been listening, but on Doug Stanhope's podcast, he's been complimenting you a ton lately. I was just curious what your relationship was with them and if you've worked with them. I know on the podcast you told a quick story about him once a while ago.
Yeah. First of all, I love Stanhope. Stanhope is a comedian to the bone. It's in his DNA. He's another Massachusetts guy. On the way home, Russell, the other night, I was listening to Raw Dog or whatever, and he was telling that story about the night his mother, committed suicide. Yeah. But they had the family around, and I mean, this guy. But the last time we worked together, a long time ago, we did a Just for Laughs Nasty Show tour in Canada. And my favorite Stanhope story, he's up there. We're at a club in Vancouver. It was his birthday. He's on stage. He goes, "Hey, it's my birthday. Anybody get any X?" So, sure enough, as soon as he gets off stage, some guy with a blonde mohawk comes up and hands him some shit. And then Doug's trying to get me to take it. You know me, I'm not a drug guy, And Doug's like, "Come on, you got to do the fucking X." We're talking to a couple girls. I'm like, "Oh, I'm not doing that shit." He was bugging me so much. I go, "Give me that shit." I fucking took it, ended up going back to the hotel by myself and rubbing my balls for 45 minutes. But
yeah, dude, he parties like crazy. It's unbelievable.
He really is the fucking real deal. He's got a cult following. He lives in the desert. He's got girls with shave heads. He's at one guitar away from Manson,
Yeah, I'm like total opposite of that. I'm a blue collar guy, but I absolutely love him. I'm seeing him next month in Houston for the first time. I'm really excited.
Yeah, well, good. He's as funny as it gets, in my opinion. He's got a screw loose, which makes for a great comic, and he has plenty to say. He's very opinionated and very charismatic. And like I said, he's a party machine. So all the DNA to be a good comic. Thanks for the call, Russ.
Yep, have a good one.
You got it. Yeah, I fucking love Stanhope. And anytime if I'm in the car, he comes on, I turn it up. It's like a good Stone song or something. He's I was hosting the Nasty Show up in Montreal, and he wandered into the green room. He wasn't working. He just wandered in, and he was on something. He was staring at me. I had a white sports jacket on. I was wearing this over-the-top Calvin Klein jacket because I was hosting, just to be funny. But he was just giving me this what the fuck you... And next thing I know, I go on stage, I come back, and the security was wrestling him out of the green room. He started some shit. But yeah, if you get a chance to see Stanhope anywhere, and the other thing I got to give him credit for, he's the first guy to go, "Hey, I'm not doing all these clubs. I'm going to blaze my own path." So he would do these, he'd find these venues, have his fans find them for him and shit. So, something that I want to do after we do the Stress Factory. 866-969-1969. Back after this. Right now. Not in a few minutes. Right now. Excuse me. I'd hit the cough button, but that would take me, an ounce of energy to reach across the... Jesus. I got nothing today. So how are you, folks? 866-969-1969. Presently talking about, I brought up the Kevin Hart in an article, said that, it was about him staying away from the anti-Trump horseshit and not being apolitical. That's not what he does. But I would like to know. I don't necessarily assume because he's a black dude that he hates Trump or whatever. He might even like Trump. I don't know. But he made the point that, you don't want to alienate your audience. And it depends what side of the aisle you're on. I think... If you're a guy like me that leans right today, and that's why this show came about, it's a place where people can... There's money in that, too. Apparently not here. But no, I regress. But Kevin Hart is just killer. And like I said, how do you argue with a guy who made $87.5 million? He hasn't... Apparently, he's alienated nobody. Not one person on the planet. $87.5 million, folks.
Oh, my Lord.
Lordy Jesus. 87.5 million. Like I said, I remember him walking into the Comedy Cellar 8-10 years ago. Not even, probably. I can't even. I don't know how to make a calendar. But, so we're talking comedy, and you guys, people out there who want to try it, if you want to call in and get some advice, or tell me who you prefer. If you like your comics to dip into politics, I like socially relevant comedy. It's. I remember Jerry Seinfeld was on the Bob Costas show, and Costas had a show on HBO. Mm-hmm. And I remember Bob Costas saying, who's a great interview, by the way. Costas does his homework. He said to Jerry, you always talk about your act being about nothing. And he said to Jerry, the guys who do socially relevant stuff, is it harder to do that? And does that make them, like George Carlin, does that put them in a different upper echelon? And he said, absolutely. Jerry said. But you can't argue with Jerry's commercial success. But it is harder to talk about, race and abortion and get laughs. You know what I mean? If you're a white fella and you're straight It's really fucking difficult. Trust me, folks. I got about 8 minutes on abortion that I haven't unleashed on the world yet. Very funny stuff. How they're aborting kids at like 8 months now. It's like, Jesus Christ. I said, why don't you just wait a few more weeks? You can poison the Halloween candy. And then it gets rough from there. And then it really gets... I'm telling you. Before we get on with the comedy thing, I want to go to Mark in San Diego. He did some time in Kentucky. Maybe he knows Brendan's brother. Hey, what's up, Mark?
What's up, Nick? Love your show. Love your politics.
Thank you, brother.
I spent a little time up in Kenton County, and, coming from California, I went in thinking I was going into Folsom or San Quentin, so I was kind of bowed up. And, soft serve is a good name because I saw guys with swastikas on their necks walking the yard with black guys. It was way softer than I thought it was going to be. But
well, Mark, you said Kenton County, right?
Yep.
So it's Covington?
Yeah,
okay,
almost Cincinnati.
Okay.
Is that the one your brother's in or no?
No, he was in Eddyville.
Eddyville?
And he's officially been moved to Woodford County now.
What's he, a problem there?
I don't think it's good behavior.
I'm fucking... Hey, Mark, so Mark, you moved out to California after you did time in Kentucky?
No, I'm from California, and it's kind of the reason the engineering company I work for, we do bridge remediation, road projects, airport stuff. So I travel all over, and let's just say my idea of a good evening was criminal mischief, according to the Commonwealth. So,
can I ask what you did specifically?
Little bit of them boys in Kentucky are a little mouthy, so me and a tire iron made things right, if you know what I mean.
Jesus, this is why I love my audience. This is why we have the best. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when's Trump going to pull the trigger on some more of these infrastructure projects? I'd love to go spend 2 more years in an air-conditioned trailer on the Pennsylvania Turnpike or something.
I don't know. It's a good question. I'm sure it's coming, though, because that was one of the big promises, right, during the campaign.
Yeah, that's why I voted that way. But just to get to your subject at hand, I love socially relevant comics. Love Vic Hanley. Seen him a ton because I've dipped my toes, and seen that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Love the comedy of those kind of guys who can point at themselves and make fun of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Who did you just say? I didn't hear the name you mentioned.
Vic Hanley.
Oh, Vic Hanley.
Yeah.
Vic.
Nice.
Vic. Little thing about Vic. He went to Auburn and he ran a whole betting scheme. He had the whole campus. He was like a bookie. Yes. I love him. And Vic. Another fun. Thanks for the call, Mark. By the way, keep listening, brother.
All right. Yeah. Take it easy, Dick.
You got it. Yeah. Vic Hanley's brother was a running back at Auburn, and a good one, like all conference, white boy. Again, this is in the 70s.
Oh.
When we had the legs of Twiggy. What?
I was going to say it could have been Bo years.
Oh, Bo Jet? No.
Yeah.
No, that was...
Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
No, Bo Jackson to Auburn.
Yeah, but not in the 70s.
That's what I was getting at. He just missed him.
Yeah. Thanks for the commentary. Might as well be my wife talking. You know who I like that played football in the 70s?
I pull for Auburn, though. 3 of my cousins went there, so that's my college football
Did they really?
team. Yeah.
No kidding. That's terrific. I pulled for Villanova.
Yeah, D2.
Doesn't matter. Maine, Division I AA. Same with Villanova, not D2.
Whatever.
Big difference. Fuck off, you fucking hockey player. Dave in Kansas City wants to talk about comedy. And Dave?
Hey, Nick, the galloping guinea, more like the flying Fanuc.
Oh, not bad, Dave. You're up to a good start.
You smart cocksucker.
I want to do comedy too, but
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I want to do comedy too, but the stuff I think about is the stuff that I observe. Like at work, there's a fat broad, and she swears that she skips lunch every day, and I'm thinking, how are you still so fucking fat? and just how broads go through toilet paper super fast and stuff like that. And the thing that I'm worried about is somebody saying something like, sexist. And I'm not scared of getting up on stage, but I'm one of those guys that thinks up a comeback like 2 hours later. You know
well,
what I mean?
with the two examples of the jokes you gave me, you should be scared about your own material.
No.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Dave, let me ask you a question. Are you still in Kansas City?
Yeah, I'm still in Kansas City.
Does the comedy club Slapsticks, is it still there?
I'm only familiar with Sanford and Sons.
Stanford
and Sons, and I heard that closed. That closed, did it not?
No,
I don't think so.
It's still open, but they charge you to do the open mic too, and they give you they'll give you free tickets and
unbelievable.
And I don't have anybody that I'm really gonna invite to something like that.
Yeah,
and I'm also kind of I don't know, I'm kind of a pussy. I have a friend who he wants to get into the entertainment industry with some really shitty movie ideas.
Right.
But I'm telling him, yeah, you should come up here and do it with me. You know what I mean? Do some of that black guy comedy where you talk about, how white people are all awkward and whatnot,
Yeah.
And he said he would be down, but then at the same time, he said he doesn't. He's kind of worried about the same thing about somebody saying that he's a racist. But then I'm trying to convince him that, white people won't call you a racist. They'll probably laugh at you because you're telling a joke and because you're black. Because you know what I mean. You
don't have to worry. But that's if that's a concern of you, what people think, then you don't have the DNA.
No, not what people think. It's the heckler. I don't know what to say. How
but you said you'll think of a comeback 2 hours later. So what you do? You go home and you call the club and you leave the comeback on the message machine.
All right, I guess.
Just go, hey, this is Dave. I performed there a couple hours ago. You tell that fat blonde bitch in the second row she fucking smells like cheddar cheese, and then hang up.
Yeah, and her boyfriend with his fucking haircut and his long beard and all that stuff.
Yeah, you just described
mustache.
You just handlebar mustache. You just described my producer, Andy Flowers.
Andy Fiotti.
See.
All right, David. Thank you for the call, and I say do it again. Don't worry about what people think, and if you call a racist or a sexist, wear it like a badge of honor.
All right,
buddy.
Of radio.
All right, take care. What do we love on this show, on the Nick Dipaolo Show? We love when a woman chimes in. We would like to have more, actually. We love them here, especially the cleaning lady. She's from East Poland, and I saw Andy trying to pinch her on the ass as she was putting toilet paper into the holder. Megan in Pennsylvania loves dirty, politically incorrect comedians. Megan, you sound like a real whore. How are you? Welcome to the show.
I love dirty, racy comedy.
Do you really?
I really do. Like, I thought it was hilarious. Like, when people talk in real life that kind of about but my most favorite thing that Jim Norton has ever said is, like, describing the female anatomy and what he loves.
Okay. Now let me just, I want to correct you. Say his name again. Jim what?
Jim Norton.
No, it's Jim Norton. It's not Jim Norton. You're not a 12-year-old black girl in the hood, okay? It's Jim Norton. I hate how you...
Jim Norton.
No, not Norton. It's fucking Norton. Jim Norton.
Norton.
There you go. What is this fucking ghettoizing of the language? Anybody under 30.
I think it's a country thing.
I think that's Pennsylvania.
No, it isn't. I saw a fucking white girl, a fucking anchor woman here in New York, a blonde hair, blue eye. She went, John. I almost fucking jumped out of my chair. It's unbelievable, the fucking ghettoization of the language. But I love...
It's a southern, not a southern thing. It's definitely a country thing because I come from the country areas of Pennsylvania.
Megan, it's not a country thing. It's an urban thing. It's just the opposite.
I can tell you, there was no black people where I grew up.
I understand that, but the TV and the movies has fucking poisoned you. You don't even realize it.
I have not.
But you know what, Megan? You have good taste in comedy because I love Jimmy Norton. He mixes dirty and funny and smart. And give us one of the jokes about him explaining the female genitalia.
It really had to do with the fact that he loves when a girl has that pee smell on her all day long, and then he can go down on her.
That pee smell on her all day long? What, is she homeless?
Yes. He loves when a girl doesn't, like a girl showers in the morning and then all day long is like sweating and wiping like her vagina after she pees, and then it smells like day old pee. He loves it.
Fucking Norton.
He told me that a couple years ago at a Comedy Cellar, and I was like, oh my God.
I bet he told you in the ladies' room in stall number 2, am I right?
Yes, I would love that.
Oh my God. Megan, how tall are you and what do you weigh?
5'9" and 179, 189, something like that.
Oh boy, you smell like piss and sweat.
Yes.
Megan, you're the best caller of the night so far. And I like your taste.
I would love to hear more abortion jokes and baby in a blender jokes.
Okay, Megan. Oh, Megan, you're killing me. Now, Megan,
I'm a pediatric nurse. Is that sick?
Holy shit. Are we in trouble? I hope North Korea hits us tonight. No, that's fine. As long as you keep those type of thoughts out of the office and don't think about it when you're wiping a baby girl's ass who's like a month old.
Right.
All right, Megan. Love you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, Nick.
All right. I like that she came out. And here's what 5'9", 170, whatever.
Yeah, she was a big girl, sir.
Was she a great big girl?
Was she a great big fat person?
Was she a great big fat person? That's what she liked. You gotta like a girl that likes it. When I do dark shit on stage, and I mean dark, and you see a girl cackling, you're like, that girl's fucking crazy good in bed. I do, some type of abortion bit. She's wiping her eyes. She's laughing so hard. I'm like, yeah, that broad's going to go home with her boyfriend in about an hour. She'll be hanging from a ceiling fan, peeing on him. I like how specific Megan was with what, I'll tell you. It's a whole different world out there. And I got into comedy. It wasn't, let's go to Don King, our friend in Cleveland, the great Don King.
Only in America that we can talk about the comedy of the world, you know what I mean? I mean, Nick Dipaolo, one day I'm going to come over there to New York, go to the Fat Black Pussycat, you know what I mean? I like 3 out of those 4 words, you know what I mean?
Sounds like a Don King.
3. You know what I mean? I'm going to come see you, come see the comedy of the great Nick Dipaolo. Nick, I know you play the clubs. I want to see you in the domes one day.
Yeah.
You play the stadiums, you play the domes. You know what I mean? Eventually, you end up in the convalescent homes. But don't worry, Nick, because you're going to be there one day with the great Andy Fiore. Nick, you're lighting up the comedy world. You are on fire. Andy, you're a little bit hot. You're kind of like as warm as the girl's thighs at the Fish concert. You know what I mean? Andy Fiore.
Thank you, Don.
Don, I need you as a promoter to get me into those domes. I want to do 1/10 the business Kevin Hart's doing, and I think you as a black promoter could help me out in those certain urban markets.
Oh, we can get you in the Cleveland Dome. You know what I mean? The Watts, California Dome. The Harlem Dome, I think they call that the Apollo, but we're going to get you in there, Nick. You know what I mean? We'll get you in there, don't worry. I'm going to hook you up with Kevin Hart. I'm even, you know what I mean, Nick, I'm going to get you hooked up. You remember Lester with the puppets? I'll get you with him, too.
Yes, Lester.
Lester with the puppets now, and I'm also going to get you with, do you like Jimmy J.J. Walker? Remember him from Good Time?
Wait, when you said Lester, you're talking Willie, Tyler, and Lester.
Oh, Willie, Tyler, and Lester, you know what I mean? Those are my favorite 6 Negroes out there. I love that team of comedy.
I do, too. I work with him in San Diego and La Jolla. This is a true story. He was opening for me or whatever in La Jolla. I walked by, they put us up in condos, right? Mitzi Shore's condo right on the beach. I walked by his condo. It's around dinner time. He's sitting at the kitchen table with the puppet sitting across from him eating, and he was talking to I swear to fucking God. I was afraid of him.
You know what I mean, Nick? those were the good old days. You know what I mean? He's still out there doing his thing. You know, I'm going to hook you up with him. You know, a little reunion. You know, you, him, Jimmy Walker. I'll get you with Mom's Mabley. We'll get her out there. You know what I mean? All right, Don. I got to run. I got to. Only in America, Nick. Keep it up. And remember one thing, Nick.
Yeah, brother.
Billy Crystal ain't been funnier since soap. You're the best, Nick.
Thanks, Don. I like to know who's doing that.
I know.
Huh?
I know.
Oh, for the love of Pete. We're talking stand-up comedy. This whole conversation started with Kevin Hart, you know, saying that, you know, he's not going to jump on the anti-Trump. He doesn't do political shit. He doesn't want to alienate the audience. Like I said, I don't know how he stands either way. And he's not that type of comic. But I enjoy that type of comic, is what I'm saying. I like the guys that leave it all on the field. Bill Hicks, I mean, some of his darkest shit, I mean, so... Strom Thurmond, he goes, you tell me he doesn't have the skins of young children drying in his attic? I mean, I'm telling you, I love it. I like it all. Even the comedians, let me tell you this too, even the comics who I don't respect their act, I like as people. I've met very few, if any, that I dislike, you know? There's something about him. You got to be a little off to want to go on and do this shit for a living, I think. Let's go to Pat in Virginia. Pat, what's going on, fella?
Hey, can you hear me? I'm calling off a Boo Boo wireless phone.
Yes, it sounds pretty good, actually.
Hey, man, Kevin Hart, goddamn, dude, he ain't got shit on you. I was just watching one of your old roasts with Artie Lang.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, I was gonna you have gotten so fucking soft compared to how you used to be, man. Bring the old Nick back. You used to be a ruthless fucking...
Well, that's a roast, Pat. That's a roast. The whole idea of a roast is to be ruthless. I'm not going to come on here every night and do lampshade Jewish jokes and Holocaust shit. That's for roast.
I know, goddamn it! I just missed it though. Nobody is funnier. I was just thinking of that. If a Jew, what'd you say? He was. What was the lampshade, thick skin? Fucking,
yes, well, I said,
I
said, it's Scary Pat from Virginia, but it was. I said we were roasting, you know, Artie, but I went after Howard. I did like 5 minutes at Howard, and I said Howard can take these jokes. He's from a long line of thick-skinned Jews. If you don't believe it, I go visit the lamp.
He said, if I want to watch black people drown, I'll watch a Katrina video.
Did I say that? That sounds like somebody else. Might have been better than that. But anyways, all right, Pat, I'll get back to the harder stuff, and I'll end my career here.
No, I shouldn't have said that because that shit's not going to do good on your show. All right, man. I love you, dude.
All right, Pat. Thanks, man. Thanks. Oh, goodness gracious. He requests a bit. I'm about to do a bit, and he steps all over it. So, and I really didn't want to do it anyways, but it's a roast, you know? And I am very good at being mean and funny at the same time. By the way, that's also, if you don't have that in your DNA, you're not a comic. You got to have a little bit of that. You have to. I mean, and I don't believe in this shit that you have to be bullied as a kid or have low self-esteem or had a shitty childhood to go into this business. I don't buy that. A lot of people gravitate to this business because I guess they were picked on. Sorry, I wasn't. It was very popular in high school. I bullied people. I was bullied by a few people. That's how life works. But this whole shit, you got to punch up. No, it's more funny to punch down. Ever see Monty Python when Cleese gets in the ring with an old lady and knocks her fucking silly? What is funnier than that? That's punching. But I never bought that shit. I play with some guy, and for the most part, jocks do have shitty kind of senses of humor. But there are guys. This guy, the late great Barry Buckley, passed away a couple months ago. A guy that I played with up at Maine. I told you they had the cops waiting for him at the New Hampshire line. He had so many warrants out. This is our pulling guard. He never wore a mouthpiece. He fucking loved me. He got my humor. It wasn't dumb jock humor. He was so funny himself. One of my favorite people on the planet, the late great Barry Buckley. And But he was a jock. You know, you don't have to be a nerdy little Jewish kid from New York to be funny. Although they are hilarious. I bet you Adam would get fucking picked on. I know that because I picked on him the first few years of the Comedy Cellar. I used to pull his hair and fucking give him a Charlie horse. No, but I love like guys like Adam and shit. But I'm sorry. That seems to be like the hard, fast rule. And I remember I think Colin was talking about me in an article, and Colin was laughing. He goes, Dipaolo comes at it from a winner's point of view. Like, there's something wrong with that. Brian Regan was a jock, you know. He was like a pretty good football player. Shit. So I don't buy this. You have to be a little nebbish. Oh, I was picked on, and then fucking. I'm glad those kids were around. I told you, John Dresser broke a fucking phone over my head at the mall. And how'd I retaliate? I destroyed his metal cannon and metal... Goodness gracious. Heloise. Steve has been on the line in New York for quite a while. Stevie boy.
Yeah, Nick.
What's up, brother?
Horace and Pete.
Yes.
What was it like to work on that show with all those great actors and actresses? And it's like the opposite of what you're known for. It was like the most serious type of script. There's nothing comedic about it.
I wouldn't say there's nothing comedic about. I mean, my role. You're right. It was just a kind of a guy who leans right in his politics, and he was a whatever. I had, but to do that was one of the best experiences I've had in show business. Not just on the set, but going to Louis' apartment and ringing the doorbell and having Alan Alda answer the friggin' door. And then I go in.
Isn't that amazing?
Then I go in the kitchen and Steve Buscemi's like pulling hors d'oeuvres out of the oven. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I in a dream here? And then
Edie Falco.
Yes,
it's Stephen Wright. It was unbelievable.
Me and Stephen Wright hit it off. So I had met Stephen a couple times doing Comics Come Home in Boston, and but me and him hung out the whole week, and you know Alan Alda played this racist bartender, and Louis had Alan Alda's character saying the most, which is funny coming out of Alan Alda, left wing as far as, you know, and all this saying all this racist shit, you know, including the N-word. And me and Stephen Wright are looking at each other. We're sitting at the bar, you know. And we literally had to try not to laugh during the, you know, and then I would say shit in the green room to Stephen Wright. Stephen Wright's like a kind of he went to Emerson in the 70s. He's a hippie type dude. And I'm saying the most racially charged shit. And he's falling off the couch. He couldn't believe how fucking hateful it was. But I was laying it on. It was to answer your question, Steve. It was as fun as anything I've ever done. And you know, Jessica Lange and
Laurie Metcalf. Oh, she was great.
Oh my God, Laurie Metcalf did a monologue that went on for like 35 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, and think about that.
Show.
Think about that.
Great show.
Think about Louis C.K. He wrote all that stuff. He wrote all that stuff. And the guy's a freak, man. He's unbelievable. Hey, thanks for the call, Steve.
You got it.
That was awesome. That mixed comedy and drama and the only the bad part was it was snowing every morning. And I got there late for the first, because, you know, the traffic. I'm coming from northern Westchester. It was a snowstorm the night before and shit. And the Waze took me through the Bronx and shit. And there was plows out there. I get there late. And, you know, fucking Louis laughed about it. But, you know, I run on the set. And I'm like, motherfucker. He's like, calm down. I'm cursing in front of everybody. But it's scary to have that type of imagination. He brought me over there. I remember he did a set at the Comedy Cellar. I saw him there at the table. He goes, give me a ride home. We go to his apartment, and he goes, I want to show you something. He brings me in. He sits down and pulls up on his computer. He says, read this. So I'm reading, like, you know, my part over the... I go, what is this? What is this Horace and Pete shit? And he pulls out the whole script. It's thicker than, you know... Imagine have that kind of imagination, and he told me he did acid like 100 times in high school. Is it too late for me to try that? I did a pound of coke in the 80s, and I wrote a pamphlet about that. Anyways, I don't know. It's Friday. We can do what we want here, but, you know, and there's still a lot of calls. What do we got? What do we do? I'm letting you make the call, Flowers. Andy Fiore.
All right.
What do? Do we stay on this on the next segment?
I think people are interested in this. We got a lot of
They
callers.
are interested.
Yeah, it's fun.
I just saw this headline: Denmark hails, and I'm not kidding, and this is in quotes, hug a terrorist scheme. Literally. Fucking white people are cutting their own throats, and I'm sure there are a lot of people happy about this, of all colors in this country, if you know what I'm saying. I didn't even get to Milo Yiannopoulos, our buddy, and he had ads up in the D.C. Metro subway system for his book, Dangerous, and of course the people wanted to take it down because they know he's a conservative and he goes everything against D.C., and even the ACLU is defending Milo. What does that tell you? What next? The Southern Poverty Law Center? I mean, for the love of Christ. Anyways, when we come back, there's still a lot more calls. People want to talk comedy and whatnot. We'll do that, and we'll go wherever that's the beauty. We'll go whatever we want to do here. I just found some delicious, what's it called? Rye? Knob Creek. Some nice, delicious bourbon with a nice Diet Coke. 866-969. We'll talk about whatever you want. 866-969-1969. Back after this. Talking comedy tonight. It all started with a thing I saw about Kevin Hart. Staying away from politics in general. And he made $87.5 million last year. I'm going to start to abandon my shit. I'm done. 87.5 mil. That's not even counting what's coming down the pike. You know, he's got 19 movies in the can. But do you like to see good people do well, you know? Funny cat. He's got some streaming thing, too, right? Right?
Yeah, LOL.
Brandon? Yeah, it's about is it already been launched or it's going to be launched? It's a streaming comedy thing.
I think it's taking CISO's place.
You motherless, fuck you. Yeah, I know. I'd like to call the guy at CISO, but you know what? He put my thing on. I'm not going to bust his chops. But yeah, he announced, like officially, right? That's going away. Well, I had nothing to do with it. Sure you didn't, Nick. I see it in your eyes over there, you rat bastard. I'll replace you tomorrow with Natterman.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, please, I can see it. Let's go to Kurt. He wants to do a Buffalo Bill impression. Go ahead, Kurt.
Hillary Clinton, was she a great big thick ankle person?
Yeah, she was a big girl, sir.
Well done, Kurt.
I love you. Come to Philly. I'll come see you. I know a lot of people that want to see you. I love you, buddy.
I appreciate
Great to be on the show.
I think I'm coming to a Helium. I don't know when, in the fall.
Great club.
I've been there 19 times. But yeah.
I'll be there, buddy.
All right, Kurt. Bring some friends.
Love that room.
Bring some boys in their late teens. What? Why did he say that? I don't know what. It slipped out. 866-969-1969. It's Friday, folks, so we're talking about whatever. Again, I just couldn't. I wanted to talk about Milo, but it's just more left-wing fascism. How many times can we report on this shit without doing something about it? Again, ISIS, if you're going to hit anybody, start at K Street. Oh, motherless fucks. Bob in Arizona, welcome to the show. How's the skin cancer, Bob? Here we go.
This is the water, and this is the well. Drink full, and this end. The horses the white of the eyes, and dark within. This is the water, and this is the well. Drink full, and this end. The horses the white of the eyes, and dark within. This is the water, and this.
All right.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Thanks, Bob. Oh, goodness gracious. Matt in Ohio, he did 10 minutes a while ago when he was 16, and he said it was quite scary. Matt, what happened? It didn't go well?
Actually, it's kind of funny. I have stage fright really bad, and I went to a open mic thing, and I had no intention of doing it. And my buddies egged me on, so I went up. And I was doing some racist stuff that I'm not going to repeat over air, but, I was doing some racist and, talking shit about women not acting their age, and I started getting heckled.
Right.
And there was this guy that looked just like Smithers off of The Simpsons, and I made a joke, women saying 40 is the new 20, and I'm like, well, look at this fucking pedophile up here. He told me before the show 5 is the new 40, and, everybody starts laughing.
It's a good one.
And so this other guy, he started tackling me, and, he was pretty overweight, and he was, running his mouth, and I'm like, I don't know what you got to be pissed off about. You got a nice rack, and the blonde sitting next to you. Shit, that's a gift. And then, some other people started kind of cheering in, and, my last bit was this guy who I could tell was, leaning towards gay. I don't think he liked my politics. I'm like, this guy up here is such a flamer. He's got a bottle of KY, his in his car. And, I kind of closed down. And I told my buddy, I'm like, we better get the fuck out of here. I'm probably going to get shot now.
Well, it's... And that was just like an open mic when you first time up?
It was the first and only time I've ever done it. It was a lot of fun, actually, and a lot of people thought, I did really good with it. But I was honestly so scared of the people I talked shit to. I was in Columbus, a pretty mean city, so
yeah,
we better get out of here, man.
Yeah. All right, Matt.
It was fun, though.
All right, do it again, man. Do it again. That's my advice to you. Try it again.
I definitely do appreciate it. I love your comedy, the Dave Chappelle style comedy, so keep it up.
Thank you. Yeah, I get that comparison a lot. Me, Chappelle. You're a lot like Janine Garofalo, Nick. By the way, Chappelle's as good as anybody. I think he's fucking underrated. I fucking think he's brilliant, Chappelle. I really do. He's like a jazz musician. He just lays it out there, silky smooth, smart. Why variety? It's funny, when I was younger, I was kind of, as you get older, and you're like, oh, I was a lot more discerning or whatever, kind of snobbish about who I liked or what I liked, but then you can appreciate. But Chappelle, always. The first time I saw him at the Boston Comedy Club, I went, oh, man, how funny is this guy? And I haven't seen his latest special. My buddy's quoted like 9 lines from it. You seen it, Brendan?
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
Yeah, he's just a silky, he's like a jazz musician, But I love, I like Chappelle I love, but I also, Cat Williams makes me laugh. Cat Williams is like a pimp, a funny pimp. I mean, fucking just cracks me up. You got the raggedy ass mall. I go there, they're selling fish sandwiches and pit bull puppies. Motherfucker. Anyways, hey, next week, folks, Robert Kelly's going to be here, and Dan Natterman of Raw Dog fame. He's Noam Dworman's partner on the radio show, and a very funny comic. And another guy who went to an Ivy League school and, got a law degree, and, And come see me at in Andy Fiore at the Stress Factory, August 25 and 26. And then I'll be at the Newtown Theater September. I can't believe we're talking about September already.
I know.
There's already been a round of NFL preseason games that I didn't even know about. When I was younger, I knew right when the Hall of Fame game I'd watch. I mean, what is fucking... Slow it down, man. I'll be dead soon. 866-969-1969. What I'm going to talk about, I don't know. Do we go into this shit? There's 2 stories. First of all, you got this guy, Jeffrey Lord, who worked for CNN. He was fired by CNN on Thursday for a tweet in which he said, Zeke Heil, to mock the president of Media Matters. If you don't know who Media Matters is, they're a real leftist, crooked. They get money from George Soros to go after anybody conservative. They came after me when I was on Free FM in New York. I was on the air about a month, and they came after. They mentioned me like on the New York Times. Can you imagine? I wore that as a badge of honor. But they're a sleazy outfit out to the guy who heads it up. One of the guys who heads it up. His name is Angelo Carasone, and He's the one who's organized like boycotts against Hannity, O'Reilly. He's trying to take down everybody. And he's a real fucking fascist left-wing scumbag cocksucker is what he is. And this guy, Jeffrey Lord, wrote a column in the American Spectator. He went after the guy from Media Matters. And he says they make it their business to go after the sponsors of different people on television and radio. The latest, which was Hannity, they went after they went after Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh and other. That's all they fucking do. And so he wrote a column, this guy Jeffrey Lord, tongue-in-cheek. I rewrote the First Amendment as Media Matters would like to see it. At the end of it, I said the American Spectator couldn't confirm whether it was true that they said Sieg Heil in their draft amendment. Making a joke. So Lord's Twitter feud with Media Matters president Angelo Carasone began when Carasone noticed the American Spectator piece and dismissed it as bullshit. So what this guy did, Jeffrey Lord did, was cut and paste all this guy's tweets from Media Matters, right? And there was a typo in his name. And this Carasone guy got mad at that to give you an idea where he's coming from. There was a typo. It began CA. He said, I put CO. He took note of this, and I said I wasn't serious or anything. And so I mockingly said Sieg Heil, which, of course, I knew since he had read the article I wrote in the American Spectator. He says he knew I said it in the article, so I was saying sarcastically, Sieg Heil. So CNN, who this guy used to get fired him for saying that, this guy was also a Trump supporter, this Jeffrey Lords at CNN. There's a couple of them who have already been fired for other shit. So they're just looking for CNN, MSNBC. They work hand in hand with these douchebags at fucking Media Matters. I mean, this is literally shutting down speech. You're not allowing somebody to make a living. And CNN's complicit in it. And MSNBC. It's just fucking, like I said, I was on the air for 3 weeks. Back in 2007, Free FM, and they came after me in the New York Times. I was talking about hate crime legislation, how I disagree with it, and I misquoted Bill Clinton or something, and they fucking called me and busted my chops. But it was nice to see my name in the New York Times. There were two other people at CNN that were sort of pro-Trump, Kayleigh McEnany, and this other guy, Jason Miller. I guess he's the only one left, Jason Miller. Only pro-Trump guy at CNN. So what does that fucking tell you? I mean, there's no question about it. People want to get you off the air, he said. I would frequently see both in my Twitter feed and emails hostility. It wasn't just to me. It was to Kayleigh. It was to Jason. It was to Corey Lewandowski when he was there. It didn't matter who we were. He's talking about CNN now. Didn't matter who we were. If we were supporting the president, they wanted you off the air. So they used this little exchange between, because he said Sieg Heil and being sarcastic. And that was enough for CNN to give him the hook. So, again, you people who are still watching that, it's still on the air, CNN. It's like it's state-run TV. I don't think it'll ever go away. There could be 6 people watching it. What has happened, folks? 866-969-1969. And then you had Milo Yiannopoulos, our buddy, with his ad being taken down in the metro system in D.C. And he's got the ACLU on his side. What does that tell you? We got one call up here. Tony Pepperoni.
Hey, Mr. Dipaolo.
What up, Tom?
Love your show, man.
How you doing, brother?
Doing good. I had a couple of things for you here. I was just, I'm a new listener. A long-time Ellis listener, and I heard him, you were on his radar there, so I figured I got to check this Dipaolo guy out. Now you're one of my favorite shows on this channel here.
Thank you, Tom.
And, yeah, I was just curious. Michael Tolley, would you ever have him on your show? He's pretty dang funny there.
Who's that?
His co-host, Michael Tolley. He does stand-up and stuff on the side, but he's pretty quick and witty like yourself, but...
Yeah, no, I don't know who he is, so I'd have to check him out for who's Jason's co-host?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of guys in the room with him.
Yeah, no, why would I have to have him on him? No.
Oh, I just figured he'd be funny, bouncing stuff back and forth. And they had a couple limericks for you. They'd blow the Buffalo guy out of the water, man, if you got 10 seconds for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, there once was a hermit named Dave who kept a whore in a cave. She only had one tit. smelled like shit, but think of all the money he saved. And there once was a man from Nantucket who had a dick so long he could suck it. Smiled with a grin as he wiped the cup from his chin. My ear with a 10 would fuck it.
Tony, that is some good shit, brother. You're breaking
I'm working on it, man.
God help us. All right, Tony.
I love your show. You're one of my new favorites, man.
Thank you, Tony. Take care.
All right. Thanks.
All righty. Jesus H. Christ. Huh? Limericks.
I've heard of limericks since I was 14.
I know.
I love them.
I know. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
I can't remember any of them.
Oh, there was one about a guy with a...
So it was a Nantucket guy.
Not the Nantucket guy. There was another one. Something about a guy watches a... Oh, fuck. Something about shredded wheat was the end of the... Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, God. It's better than Nantucket. It's a funny one. Oh, God help us. Anyhow. Anybody out there? Hello? Call in. God, is this a weird fucking show? Back to comedy. I think I've made my point about Media Matters. Again, George Soros. When's somebody going to take him out? I'll send you guys a block of government cheese if you break a window in his house tonight. He's got a house in Westchester, by the way. Fucking piece of shit. Hope his whole family gets cancer of the eyes and rectum. Anybody? Alfie, I was only kidding. I said no kids. No kids. The other story. I want somebody to defend this. Denmark's second largest city is attempting to tackle terrorism by offering jihadists empathy in a program dubbed Hug a Terrorist. This is not bullshit. Whilst Danes who have fought against Islamic State have been threatened with jail on their return from Syria, terrorists are being offered enormous privileges, including, get this, apartments, education, and jobs to encourage them to rejoin society. I want you to think about the logic there for a second. Proponents of the police-run scheme in Aris says the jihadis are isolated and struggling to integrate and claim that offering them kindness and forgiveness will deter them from their murderous ideology. I think it's official. White people are the dumbest people on the fucking planet. These particular white people in Europe. However, Danish politician Nazar Kader, a Muslim born in Syria, says it sends the wrong message. No shit. And rewards terrorists who have effectively made war on the West and its value. No kidding. No kidding. He told Australian news program Dateline, the Hug a Terrorist model tells young Muslims, go out and do something criminal. Be jihadis, and you'll get a lot of privilege from that society. That's exactly what it does. But get this. Some of the police are in favor of this. We had a number of options, Superintendent Alan Arslev told Dateline. We could prosecute them all if we can find evidence. However, those we couldn't prosecute, what should we do about them? Take them out back behind a woodshed and somebody fell down and was fine. I'm not making this shit up. So they want to get terrorists apartments, give them education. You believe that, Andy?
Yes, I do, unfortunately.
The world is upside down. How about this? Then you got people who went over there to fight this woman. She went over to, her name's Joanna Palani. She went over, she's a Danish woman, went over and she fought ISIS in Syria. She claims she's been demonized and forced into hiding since she returned to Europe. She fought with the Kurdish Peshmerga YPG force and claims to have killed up to 100 terrorists and freed female sex slaves and children. She was handed a 12-month travel ban to prevent her from traveling back to the conflict zone in September 2015 and was threatened with jail when she flew to Qatar. I'm not making this shit up. I swear to God, the nuclear, everybody shitting there, I think it would do us some good. Get us back, snap us back to reality. You know? Anybody with me? North Korea? Like I said, if you're going to hit us, Trump's out of there, right? He's not in D.C., right? I think he's at his golf course in New Jersey.
Jersey.
Okay, so he's out of there. Land it right in Mitch McConnell's attic. What's his name? Kim Jong-un Shemp? Send the missile right into fucking Mitch McConnell's kitchen. What are you doing, Shemp?
Yeah. Me.
Shemp with the hair hanging in his face.
I can't do it with my glasses on.
He's my favorite. He's underrated. Anyways, anybody got an opinion that we're going to take a break. 866-969-1969. And we can talk about CNN and MSNBC. You know, we get back, we'll take our Mark's call on line 1, and we'll talk about I like Trump's approach. They try to blame him now. We're going to get into a nuclear war because of Trump. Like the fucking last 30 years, and including Bush, Clinton, all the other shitheads who've done nothing. But it's Trump who, according to CNN, he's the reason if we get into a nuclear, it's his fault. But Colin Quinn had a good line about Trump. Again, sarcastically. You know, he comes up with like hacky shit. He goes, why is he orange when he acts like a banana? This is the type of shit. Bro, look, Brendan actually took it serious. That's why your generation, Quinn's much smarter than that. But that's the shit he puts on Twitter, and the play fucking, it lights up. Why is he orange when he acts like a banana? Oh, my God. Oh, back after this. I'm looking at the screen. We're surrounded by stupidity. I can't even. I look up at the screen. There's an elementary school, Lynch Elementary School, Lync. It's probably named after a guy named Lynch. Yeah, they've taken the word Lynch out of it because, Lynch as in lynching. After recent complaints from families and students, the word Lynch will be removed from the names of 2 elementary schools in Portland, Oregon. Oh, my God. There's a reason the word Lynch has been featured as part of Lynchwood and Lynch Meadows Elementary School. See, Patrick Lynch donated a parcel of land to the school district in the late 1800s, the station said, and naturally a number of schools included his name. But recently, the district official said some people were becoming upset about the name Lynch. KGW said, as it drew a thought, and not to the benefactor from long ago, but to the verb lynch. And I can't even finish reading it. Fucking, that's all I need to know. I know the majority of you guys are white, and it's hard to know how that word could have an effect, but it does. A student said that should be taken out and shot in front of his family at the Sentinel School Board meeting Wednesday night at the station. If a simple name change could make students feel safe, then why are we holding back? Because they're totally unrelated, you fucking ignorant moron! You fuckhead! You ignorant fuck! If it makes them safer, you know what makes me feel safer? I'm not even going to say because I get kicked out of the country. The word black makes me uncomfortable. Are you fucking kidding me? A man added, I don't think any of you have ever seen a picture where one of your descendants was hanging from a tree. The fucking ignorance is... What's going on in the state of Oregon? Seriously. If I read that and I lived in Oregon, I'd fucking just leave. So the board voted to remove the word lynch from 2 of the 3 elementary schools over concerns of offensive language. Hey, like I said, white people, you know what? You deserve what you get. This couldn't happen without the help of liberal white people. Lynchwood and Lynch Meadow will be known temporarily as Wood Elementary. I fucking... Is this made up? Is this from The Onion? Please fucking tell me this is made up. Who's this jerk off? Hold on. David Hayes, the great-great-grandson of Patrick Lynch, didn't attend Wednesday's board meeting, but told KG he takes issue. I would think so. I think my grandfather would have liked me to stand up for the family name a little bit, Hayes told the station. In the business of education, schools are in the business of education, so they should be able to educate people that a name and history have a certain meaning versus what other people have turned it into. They can't even understand that. You understand they're so ignorant, whoever has a problem with this. And again, this couldn't happen. This shit couldn't come to fruition without the help of white liberal people. Do you understand that? The fucking minorities who have a problem with the word, this, I can't even, there's a level of ignorance here I can't even fucking address on the show. But to have again, it wouldn't happen unless you have white liberals in power who, you know what? Yeah. This is the worst one yet, and we read about this shit every day.
It really is.
This one, I can't, these are adults we're talking about. These are grown men and women going, yeah, I can see how the word...
I give up.
Huh?
I give up on the F.
No, fucking... And my buddy made a good point about the Procter & Gamble. Remember that one, that ad? What was so scary about it, because that's as big a corporation as there is. And when a corporation that big is doing something like that, they're trying to start something. It really is. It's seriously, they're trying to start a distraction. You know what I mean? When Procter & Gamble does something like that, it's creepy. It's fucking... We have an equity plan in place at Centennial, and we are doing what we believe is right for our children. Who's saying this? Charlene?
The board chair.
Yeah. What color is she? That's what we ask on this show. What is that her?
I don't know.
With a dumb sweater on? Another broad who wouldn't get a dick stuck in her if she was in a male prison? Another woman added, we were Lynch. We will always be Lynch in our hearts and like to see the political correctness stop. Thank you. But board chair Charlene Jard was unmoved. Google her. I'd like to know her color. I can't believe it. I really thought this was an onion thing. I really thought. And you know what, folks? 98% of black people would agree with me, saying this is as silly as horseshit. Is that her?
It's at Beaverton, Oregon, and that's I don't know how many Charlene Yards are in.
Yeah, but what was that? That was a real estate agent, wasn't it?
Yeah, but she could be on the school board.
What are you talking, dude?
That's her.
That's not her.
Realtor, wife, mom, grandmother, school board chair. Hey, come on.
Look at her. Look at that thing. Look at that ignorant white old broad.
Oh, she got a website.
She got a website? What's it called? Cunty McNutty?
That's my...
Dumbcunts.org? What is it?
Oh, he hasn't been keeping up with it, apparently.
Well, you can't have to make a decision like that. Let's go to Brendan in California. He has an update on this situation. Brendan.
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
Brendan, what is going on? Is this true? What are they going to call the school now?
They're going to call it Wood. So they're calling it basically a white person. So they completely screwed up when they did this because they were saying, in effect, if they want to call it that, they're lynching white people because it was called Lynch Wood. So now they're just changing it to Wood, which is a nickname for a white person.
That is a nickname for a... But the lynching part, what do you mean lynching white people? I don't get that.
Well, it was called Lynchwood, right? So if you look at it in its perspective of two different words, Lynchwood. So these black people could say we're lynching woods.
That's not why it's being changed, though. Obviously, the
I know that. Yeah. I know that. I get that. That was just my kind of fucked up perspective on it.
It's a good take on it, actually. But unbelievable. Every day every day we report something here that I'm flummoxed. And it couldn't. Again, this shit couldn't take root without the help of white liberal people.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm in California. I deal with a lot of that shit.
Oh my God, do you ever? I love Cali, but Jesus, you got to put a stop to it. Thank you for the update, Brendan.
Thank you. Good talking to you.
All right. Oh, for the love of Christ. Zach in Montreal, your thoughts?
I don't understand what the fuck they're doing. I mean,
How long has the school been around for, and how many black people didn't give a shit about the name until 2017?
That's the point. That's the point.
Like-
That's how you know it's a con job. They're just having their way. And again, it's not black. Like I said, I bet you 98% of the black people that read this would think
only white people that fucking give a shit. I went to a liberal arts school in Montreal.
Yeah.
I'm the only fucking right-wing person who went there.
Yeah.
They fucking loved me.
Did they really?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's just, it's, Oregon especially. People go, you got to come to the comedy club in Portland? I go, no. Not going to even go to your state. And I'm sure there's fine people there, but every story that comes out of there rubs my skin raw. All right, Zach.
Take it easy.
All right, brother man. Unfucking believable. But I want faces. I want to see races. I want to know who's complaining. And, we know that one woman, that white woman, one idiot. I'm starting to think, I don't know, I'm starting to think we shouldn't have given women the right to vote. I'm really wondering. Of course, I say that dick in cheek, folks. Relax. Relax out there. But every time we do a story like this, it's Professor Diane Chrysler said. Professor Patty DuPont said fat shaming hurts girls. Harold Johnson, who has a psychology degree from the University of California, Davis. Johnny in D.C., what's going on? Help me, John, in a world that's gone mad, please.
Hey, Nick, I'm a huge fan of your show. Did you already cover how the schools were named after the Lynch family? I tuned in late.
Yes.
Okay. This is just another manifestation of fucking white guilt running amok and people needing to feel like they're saving somebody's fucking life that isn't at risk.
Yeah, well, it's liberal white guilt.
Yeah, it's
that's the only kind there is, I guess.
And out here in D.C., we're dealing with people voting to tear down a statue of Robert E. Lee that's in downtown Charlottesville.
Yeah.
After they've already renamed the fucking park.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. There's absolutely no end, and we are just walking the slippery slope to no fucking end. And thank God you're here to tell people the actual truth of how fucking stupid it is.
Well, I'm trying to, and I'm sure Media Matters. This show won't get its. We won't be certified until we get Media Matters coming after us, and then. But you know what? We don't have advertisers. It's about subscriptions. I don't know if they can figure that out. But thank you, Johnny, for bringing some sanity to the conversation.
All right, thanks so much, Nick. Keep it up.
You got it, brother. Sweet Dave in Denver. Oh my God. Oregon just passed another law you guys might find shocking. Fill us in, Dave.
How's it going there, lasagna tits?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to touch on this. Yeah, it seems like the West Coast is just losing its shit, man. I was listening to Fox the other night.
Yeah.
And, Planned Parenthood, free abortions, even to illegals. And they have one of the laxest term limit laws in the country. I think it's 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with illegals getting abortions.
Well, we're paying for it.
I don't give a shit.
No anchors.
People of Oregon are paying for it.
No, I know. I don't live in Oregon, and you're killing people who shouldn't be here. So what's the problem?
Actually, my buddy had the same argument. He was like, well, most of those people are going to be a drain on the system anyway, so fuck it. But,
well, I actually have a joke that the United States funds abortions through the UN in Mexico. And I said, well, that's more effective than a fence. It's one of my abortion bits. And, I say it tongue in cheek and it's a joke, but I'm just saying, for Christ's sake, what is... Oregon is like it's like its own country.
Oh, it's like liberal medieval times over there. I don't understand it. And I've been there a few times. Oregon and Washington, beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful country.
No, absolutely.
God damn it.
Now it's dotted with dead fetuses all over the place. All right, Dave.
All right, brother.
Thanks.
Keep doing the God's work.
Thank you. Ah, my aching stem. Honest to Christ, Brendan, what in fuck's create? You're watching it. 40, 50 years of indoctrination coming to fruition. Time for civil war. Time for civil fucking war. I'm glad of my age. I got to be honest with you, folks. 'Cause I don't want to see what this place is going to be like in 50 years. I'm going to stop doing P90X tonight. I'm going to have 2 cheesesteaks before I go to bed. Clog those arteries. Unbelievable. I didn't even get the whole story on Lynch. Well, what about the tools? What was it? What did the guy say? You said yes to the guy's question about.
Oh no, he was asking if we
something about
had
tools.
mentioned the family name,
but he said
I don't know.
tools.
I don't remember that.
Didn't you say the word tools or something?
I don't.
What other names can inflame, minorities? My friend John Rope had to change his name. Seriously. For the love of Christ. And then my other fucking friend, Kevin Whip. He's now Kevin Thomas.
Whip you. I went to Whip U University.
Whip you.
Whip you.
Yeah, Whip U University. Here you go. Oh. And I used to live on a plantation. Now we call it a yard. Unbelievable. Again, liberalism is a mental illness. It's been said. I used to laugh at that. Then, again, old school liberals, classic, they would look at both sides of the argument and stuff. But there was a whole article, I can't remember what, I read so much during the day, but just attacking. It was like where liberals lost their shit. It was like the headline. It was like, I forget what publication. It wasn't a conservative publication, but explaining how they lost it with identity politics and whatever, how they just stand for hate now and shit. Where's it headed, though? How do you reverse this? That's my question. Will it ever get back to normal? Can we? How do you reverse political correctness? I would say ICBM missiles from North Korea. That might smarten us up and go, hey. Let's go to Sean in Colorado. He's got a good question about words hurting so badly, because I actually addressed this when I was on the radio in 2007. They made me read something. CBS made me read something, and that's what it opened. Words can hurt. Go ahead, Sean. How are you?
Oh, not bad. How about yourself? And I love your show, by the way.
Thank you, Sean. I haven't been to Colorado in a long time.
I had somebody tell me words hurt. Words hurt. And I said, yeah, you yell all the words at me you want, and I'll punch you in the mouth every time you do it. Let's see who gets hurt first.
Sean, you say that. That was exactly my answer when I was on Free FM 2007. Don Imus got in a bunch of heat, and so they handed out, he was on the same CBS stations, so they handed a book of us. We had to read before we went on the air, but I read it on the air, and the first thing it said, words hurt. And I said, no, they fucking don't. They do not hurt. And that was the same thing.
No.
Yeah, no, they don't. They might hurt your feelings if you're a fucking pussy, but that's your problem.
And one more quick thing, if you don't mind. You were just talking about, can we get back to normal?
Yeah.
Stupid is the new normal.
I know.
And you can't fix stupid.
Well, Andy Fiore, no, you're right.
Hey.
I don't know what we do from here. I think, I don't know. I don't know the answer. I was thinking 9/11, how we unified for 5 minutes before the left got bored with that and said, oh, it's Bush's fault. He was in on it. But you got a good point, Sean. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, Nick. Have a good night.
All right. I can't. It's been ruined by these fucking articles. This show's running my life. I'll go home. I'll take it out of the wife. I'll go, I went to school with a Maureen Lynch. She had to change her name. This is the best one so far, I got to be honest with you. Just when I thought I was numb to this shit. That's why I didn't go into the stories tonight. I'm like, we've done enough of it. Somebody capitulated. It takes a minority who really hates white people and then a dumb white liberal to give in and go, you're right. That's the formula. And like I said, the majority of black people that would read this story, they would laugh too, going, this is asinine. I really believe that. Because it's getting to there's Mitch McConnell. Look at him. Look at that no chin. That's what the woman looked like who wrote the article about fat shaming. Just like that.
Chrysler.
Picture that. Yeah, Chrysler. Putting her a dress.
They have a montage of.
Look at him. Look at that slippery. He's got rosacea.
Ugh.
Waxy skin. Rosacea. Goodness gracious. Heloise. Let's go to John in Florida. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, Nick. Hey, this political correctness has just gotten really fucking crazy. I mean, and how the race card is thrown around so easy now for people to get their way is stupid. I mean, down here in Florida, they're taking down Civil War statues that have been up for years,
right?
And claiming it was racist. And it's like, okay, if I remember my history correct, didn't the South end slavery before the North did? Why aren't you up in the North complaining?
I don't know. I had nothing to do with that war. My grandparents are from Italy. I used to go down to the Funny Bone in Atlanta, and I'd be doing racial shit, and they'd get all quiet and shit. I go, what the fuck? I go, my grandparents are from Italy. It's not they're running around. Get out of my eggplant, you Johnny Red bastard. But
well, Nick, it doesn't help any when you have these pieces of shit like that. I think her name's Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Senator bitch. Oh,
yeah.
That piece of garbage.
Yeah, she's racist.
The biggest racist in the world, and she's married to a white.
What? Your phone cut out, Johnny.
White guy.
All right. Your phone kept cutting out, but yeah, Kamala Harris. I can't keep track of them anymore. I just can't. It's unbelievable how this anti-white sentiment has taken hold. But, Greg Fitzsimmons would see this story and go, I can understand it. We had our fun. It's their turn. What? The fuck are you talking about? I'm on this planet for 11 minutes. You're not going to tread on me, okay? It's hilarious. And black people get a kick out of this shit, like white people tripping over each other. They laugh their ass off, and they're right. And that's why I like George Lopez, too. He talks about how soft like white people are. I'm telling you. But it's got to a level. I told you when I did my open mic for about 6 months in Boston, 87, 88, a guy said, you're politically incorrect. And that's going to be big. You're right. And I go, I don't know. I think it's going to get worse before it gets, and it's still getting worse. This is 30 years later, and it's still growing like a tumor. Well, now it's it's institutionalized. Matt in Canada. Matt, what's going on?
Nicky boy, how you doing?
Oh, I'll tell you, Matt, I think I'd rather be up in Canada right now.
It's nice up here. I don't understand why you guys have such a problem with the left and the right.
Yeah.
We really don't have it here.
I know you don't. That's because you have 11 people in your country as opposed to 330 million.
We have 12. We have 12, and they're all named Dave.
I'm telling you, Matt, it's an experiment that's not working. It worked for a while, the United States. Everybody from all over the world came here. They were happy to contribute, to become Americans. But then people like Barack Obama and jerk-offs like that and Ted Kennedy. Ted Kennedy is actually the spearhead of this movement. He's the one who said, we're letting too many people in from Europe. Let's open it up. So, go ahead.
I think a lot of the problem is that too much religion is placed in the into your political spectrum. There's too much of that where you should just be decent humans and treat everybody correctly.
What do you mean? What do you mean too much religion? I don't understand that comment.
Well, everyone plays the whole "I'm a good Christian."
No, you're blaming the right.
They don't.
You're blaming the right. It's not the right and the Christians. It's the fucking left. It's the fucking godless left. They're the problem in this country. It started in the 60s, okay? The hippie fucks, that culture. That's the cancer. That's where it's... Don't blame the Christians on the right. They're the only decent people left on the planet. Your thoughts, Matt?
You don't think that everyone should have free health care then?
Oh, here we go. I know you're a fucking leftist. Fucking Canada every time.
I'm actually a conservative. I'm actually a fiscal conservative.
Yeah. Okay. So I what was the question? Should everybody have free health care? That's impossible. That's impossible. It's economically impossible in a country of 330 million people. It works in Denmark, in fucking democracies in Western Europe where there's 11 people. That's where you can do that shit. You can't do it here.